I'm going to call it a moment, a day for the moment. I'm going to call it a moment for the day, for the moment, for the day, for the moment. Good Tuesday morning. Welcome back to the Noosh Weekly Vlog. Once again, I am Chris Noosh. Okay. I'm once again joining you on a Tuesday morning. I did not film yesterday. The reason for that is next Monday, I was asked to join virtually a class at the University of West Georgia, and I had to spruce up my PowerPoint presentation that I do for artist visits and stuff. So yesterday I focused on sprucing that up. And the second reason I didn't film yesterday is because I have no idea what I'm going to do this week. I literally don't. It's been a while. And the reason for that is it's been a while since I've sat down and sketched in my sketchbook, which is admittedly not very good, but I've been focused on other stuff. So it's probably been about 2 weeks. I think the last thing I drew in my sketchbook was the green flipper piece, the walrus. I'll throw it up right there. Look, that piece. I sketched for that one a couple weeks ago and haven't picked up my pencil since. So last night, I just picked up my pencil. I needed some relaxing time, just sort of, if I go in to a sketch and I have to like record it and document it, it takes away a freeing, relaxing nature that I just want to sit down, relax, draw calmly, and not have to worry about, am I doing this or this or this or this, or time constraints or anything. So I allowed myself the time to do that last night. What I came up with, and I'm not sure if this is good yet, but I did come up with something. And it's a frog running. This is based on the Loveland frog myth, which I had just learned about last night. I was looking for like legendary creatures, and I came across the Loveland frog. And the short little paragraph that I read, I didn't want to research too much into it. I just wanted to get an image down. I might do some more research. Was that, I think it's Loveland, Ohio. There were reports of at night of frog lizard-like creature laying down, and when it approaches, it runs away. And in one of the reports, it's holding a wand with like things expelling from the tip of it. So I drew this stupid drawing right there. There's the Loveland frog. It's got a sign with Loveland that he's running away from. So I don't know if that's worth doing anything with. I might do something with that. I have an idea that may or may not go with this, but I'm not going to worry about any of that today. I'm going to come back to that tomorrow. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to finish up all of those prints on wood that I completed last week. Those are all dry now, so I can go cut those out. So I'm going to show you my finishing process for those prints on wood. If you're interested to watch, hang on out with me. Hang on out with me. If you're interested to watch, how do I end this? Come along! Okay, the first next step for these prints on wood is there's some areas, like in the eye here, that are a little bit salty, and that's for a couple different reasons. It's either the pressure wasn't enough, or there's a void in the wood there, or the wood grain, or the difference between the painted surface and the unpainted surface made the ink skip printing there. So many different reasons. But the good news is that it's fixable. And all I need to do is take I got some thin black paint and a paintbrush, and I'm just gonna paint over those areas and make them look good. And now to cut out the shapes on the scroll saw. All right, now it's let's see, it's 4:50 in the afternoon, and I just put in probably about 6 to 7 hours worth of scroll saw on to cut all of these pieces out. They are all finished. They're all done. I'm gonna call it a moment a day for the moment. I'm gonna call it a moment for the day, for the moment, for the day, for the moment. Maybe a little loopy. So I'm done with those. I'm gonna come back tonight and I'm gonna paint the edges on all those. After dinner. So I've got all the llamas stacked up upside down on a little rotating Susan piece, so I can paint all the edges very easily. I'm gonna be using an airbrush to do that, loaded with some black paint. So let's start painting these up. Isn't that hypnotizing? You probably turn it off. You probably noticed that wasn't going super perfectly. My airbrush is giving me trouble, so I gotta take some time to take it apart, clean it, and find out what's going on with it so I can continue to paint these. Yay! All of the cutouts are all finished up. Now that I got one more thing to do on them, I've got to spray paint a top coat of varnish onto each one of them so they shine forever. But those are all finished up. Oh, I also got to sign and wire and do all that fun stuff. Put the rubber bumpers on some of them. So that's what I got to do. Then they'll be finished. So I'm going to finish those up this morning. It shouldn't take me long, just till probably till about lunchtime, doing all that. And then I can get started on something new. Probably that frog piece that I showed you earlier. What do you think, Marty? Oh, you see something? What is it? Oh, it's B. B. You wondering what's going on? File today, and things always take longer than I think they're going to take. I put the top coat of varnish on top of all of them. I wired and put little bumpers on the back and signed and numbered each one. Got them all ready, all done, and then I photographed them all to put them on my website so people can see them. Because what's the point of making them if no one can see them? And the process of doing all of that took all day, because I not only have to take the pictures, then I have to edit the photos and make them look good. And it's a big effort. So that took all day. All right, it's good. It's almost quitting time for the afternoon, and I'll be back down here tonight to start on the planning for that new piece. I'm gonna go with a frog. I have an idea. I'll get back to you tonight on how I'm going to do that piece. Good Thursday morning. So last night I came downstairs with every intention of turning on the camera and filming something, but as soon as I sat down in the chair on my desk, Marty plopped herself into my lap. But I did record myself drawing a little bit more on that frog piece that I'm working on, the Loveland frog. So that's on the screen right now. I kind of just planned out my mark making for that. I think I want to make that a pair of prints, that one and another myth or a legend or something. So today, all right, so this is what I decided to do for the rest of the week. I want to come up with the idea for a second print to kind of go along with the Loveland frog piece, so I can kind of start working on those both together. So I'm going to get that ready as well. I'll sketch that out today. And then I also want to do another small little lino block print that I can run on my Adana press. So I'm going to sketch for that as well today too. So today's going to be a sketchbook day. I haven't had one of these in a while. And then tomorrow, we'll see how far I get today. Let's take it one day at a time. But yeah, I'm going to plan out one more sketch and one more piece today for for another print. I'm gonna do a little bit of research on some local legends, but not necessarily local to Georgia. But it'd be nice if there was. I know that we have the Altamaha. Look, it's a lake monster right there. We have the Altamaha that lives down in Darien, Georgia, I believe. And I know there's a Bigfoot museum up north that I've done, but I've done a lot of Bigfoots. So I don't know that I'm going to do a Bigfoot piece, but maybe a Bigfoot piece. I don't know. Bigfoot's popular. People like Bigfoot, and I like Bigfoot. There's a reason he's the biggest cryptid in town. So maybe a Bigfoot piece. Maybe I'll base it on a actual sighting here in Georgia. Maybe. Something to think about. But maybe just illustrate a scene. Yeah. All right. Let me do some research. Let me figure that out. And then I'll come back on and show you what I've done. So I found the myth that I'm going to go with. It is the Womp. And the Womp is a fearsome critter said to be around the size of a raccoon with a gray body, shaped like a salt sack, and a hollow tail with a salt shaker on the end of it. The Womp goes around shaking salt at the roots of trees every few miles, and the deers were said to love the salt. Lick it up and run to tell their friends about it. If a Womp is around, there are more deers than ever. It's a silly little cryptid little creature. And I learned that a fearsome critter, this is something I hadn't learned before, didn't know. But the fearsome critters is a term used to describe any mythical or folklore creature from early lumberjack tales. I didn't know that there were early lumberjack tales, but there's tales from any, group of people. So it makes sense. I might have to take a deeper delve into these lumberjack tales if this is one of them. The Womp. I'm going to start sketching my Womp. So I've got the basic sketch, the basic idea of this. What was it? Womp. A Womp. W-A-M-P Womp. Sketch going. He's got a salt shaker in his tail. There's a deer behind the tree watching him shake the salt on. The one issue that I had was coming up with something for the background. I wanted the focus to be on the foreground, and I didn't want the background to be super complicated or a lot going on. And that can happen when you're working with a forest scene, a bunch of grass, bunch of trees, leaves going all over the place. So I simplified it. I put like trees and mountains way in the distance, and I silhouetted those. And I also need to put some emphasis on the foreground elements. I'm going to gray out the background with a bunch of horizontal lines throughout the whole background. And I put some flying geese up in the top corner. And this is where I'm at with the sketch currently. I do still need to fix a lot of it. But, I got the basic idea, the basic sketch here. The bones are there, but it's not quite finished yet. I need to fix the deer and just get everything solidified. So that's what I'm going to do from here on out. We're getting close to the end of the day, and this will probably go into tonight to tomorrow. But I'll have two things ready. Oh, and I forgot. I want to do a little lino block too. I got to design that as well. Maybe I'll carve that tomorrow. That won't be as hard because that's about 3 inches by 4 inches, where this is going to be, 16 by 22 inches. So, anywho, here's where I'm at. I'm going to clean it all up for the next 20, 30, 40 minutes, and we'll go from there. Good Friday morning. I forget where I left off, so I'm just going to do a quick little refresher. Earlier in the week, I drew the Loveland frog right there. Yesterday, I spent it all drawing the Womp. And these two drawings that I've done will probably be what I do for the next couple weeks. Just carving up these big blocks and printing them on paper. So there's the Womp. And then last night, I came on and I drew what I'm going to do today, which is the little 4x5 linoleum carving. And that is the Oomph. And it's another one of the ferocious critters from the lumberjack tales. And It's a lizard-faced, frog-bodied, sharp-clawed, bird egg-eating creature that when it eats the bird eggs, it goes, mm, mm, mm. It just makes a little froggy noise. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to carve that. I've already got it drawn out onto my block right there. And yeah, so I'm just going to carve this up. Yeah, that'll be the end of my week. So I'm going to go spray paint this and then finish carving it. And that's gonna do it for me this week. The oomph is finished. There it is. Small little piece. I'll get to printing it next week. Came out pretty cool. I'm happy with the level of detail I was able to achieve. But yeah, this is done. Next week I'll be carving out the two larger of the cryptid creatures that I drew this week, the Womp and the Loveland Frog. So come back for that next week. But once again, I was Chris Noosh. Thanks for watching this week. See y'all next week. Thanks. Bye.